It is rare that I am at a loss for words. Um, and needless to say, the last 24 hours has put me in that position. Um, I'll catch you up. We're going to talk about this latest patch. We're going to talk about the update. We're going to talk about what's behind me, this unheard edition. And we'll talk about a little bit of the future for the channel here, since we do cover a lot of Escape from Tarkov on the Average Gamer Guys. So I really am. I am recording this at 12:18 at night before it goes up in a few hours to edit. A few things I have to say up front. I've always been a proponent of Tarkov. I've played this game for many, many years. If you're curious, I've got lots of hours. I am an EOD owner. The patch that came out this morning is it's not the, here's the thing. The patch itself is not the biggest L. The biggest L is this unheard edition and BSG's response to the community, rather lack thereof, but some of the things that they've been doing. That's the biggest L. They are single-handedly just demolishing this game. Folks can only speculate at this point, but I think a lot of the speculation, some of it has to be true. I'm going to talk about that in a second. The patch itself is probably one of the biggest W's, to be honest. No one has gotten to the patch notes. There's a few people that have probably talked about it. I'm going to jump over and share them really quickly and talk about those. The biggest L is not the patch. The biggest L is the response to the community and just the general, kind of like screw you nature of this whole thing, of literally the whole thing. And I've seen a lot. I've been on Twitter a lot today. A little bit of Reddit. It is everywhere. Tarkov has always put itself in a position, unfortunately, where it's made some controversial decisions. It's made some controversial changes. Most of those things surround the game, though, right? And it's decisions about in-game things that then impact the way that people either play or how it's felt or received, or issues. Obviously, there's cheaters, the desync. There's the issues that have plagued the game for a really, really long time. It's been rare, though, although less rare as of recently, that they make a decision like this one to introduce something like this that really impacts the player base way more so than the actual game itself. And I just don't understand. There has to be a reason around why they're doing this. Is going to come out at some point, and it's going to be really clear. And it just doesn't make sense to me. This feels like something that honestly might have been in the works for a while. Nikita talked about it on the last interview he did with Pastilli, a couple weeks ago, which I thought was really good. Again, Nikita, I thought, was pretty open about the things he can talk about. He mentioned that there was going to be a better edition coming out, and here it is. But with that, it's like you could not be more tone deaf to the community, to the player base, just around these decisions than they have been at this point. And then they are just double and tripling and quadrupling down on saying, we don't care. Screw you guys. Screw you, community. Like, people are going to pay for this, and we're going to get ours. And there's got to be something behind it. So let me start here. First of all, if you're not up to date, new patch came out. They've unleashed this unheard edition, which is just one of the most egregious things I've ever seen. In the context that it was delivered, right? And I'll talk about that a little bit. In addition to a patch. So let me talk about the patch really quick. This is what happened. We got an update. We got a patch. The first thing they put on here, of course, is this Unheard Edition. It can now be purchased. We're going to talk about that. It has access to a PvE co-op mode, which is like, it's like the biggest, that's where the biggest shitstorm out of this whole thing is being talked about. The rest of the stuff below this, there are some other not good things in here, potentially, depending on how you look at this. The rest of this I could generally live with. Like, legitimately generally live with. I'm an EOD account owner, had a Gamma container for a long time. There are perks of spending some extra money, okay? Call pay to win. It is that, because you can't delineate how much winning do you get. Like, you get an advantage and you pay for it with money. That's what it is, okay? So at the end of it, that is what it is. But I generally also didn't feel like, especially EOD, the benefits, the progression, your ability to get farther into the game, all of those things do help you. Do they help you win individual fights? No. Is any of this stuff going to help you win an individual fight? Some of it, yes. But the rest of it, I could generally deal with. Cosmetic items, melee weapon, armband, mail retention, like even slots to the flea market. I could deal with all of those things. Having access to a mode that is behind the literal highest tier of game that has ever come out, package for this game that has ever come out, edition, is insane to me. Absolutely insane to me. And they got roasted for putting up co-op mode, because co-op is in the game. This is persistent progression mode that doesn't wipe, that you can play with your friends. So essentially offline with your friends, essentially a separate character. That there's no combination to like the online game in this, except you can be persistent with your friends offline, do the quests. So you can basically play Tarkov. You can play SPT Tarkov if you don't know what that is. It's single player Tarkov. You can play that, but actually in Tarkov now. They got roasted for just introducing the co-op mode for like $10 or $15. And they're locking this one behind a $250 paywall. Is just egregious to me. So there's this. We're going to talk about the edition. List of changes. Here's the thing. There's some fucking great shit here. But nobody cares, because nobody's going to be playing the game anymore. Switch the game, in-game season late spring. This is a W. Prior to recording this, I did one more Escape series episode, which will be going out tomorrow. That's our solo standard account playthrough. If you aren't a fan of the channel and just finding this video. And it's great. It looks good. There's color in the game with some flowers, and there's some, the bushes are like blooming, trees are, it's clean. It's nice. It's aesthetically pleasing. Base inertia strength has been reduced. Aim punch effect has been reduced. Reduce the blur. Like, I didn't get a chance. I didn't get a ton of PvP, but I got shot a little bit, and I will definitely tell you that this is a real thing, and it's a W. Aim punch, I haven't been screwed up enough to see like how crazy it is. Camera shake while shooting. Like, these are all things that were asked for that would make combat more enjoyable and make it feel like less RNG. This is a W. This list is a huge W. But they take the biggest L because of this. It is insane. Hitbox penetration and armor penetration. I'm not going to read through these, but any adjustments to this, which make this feel more consistent and less RNG, which is how I read both of these things, and also maybe make you just a little bit, depending on your armor and things like that, a little bit more tanky, right? I don't know if it's going to really change much of the TTK, but it could, is also a W. Like, we have been asking for this forever. And it finally gets introduced, and it finally looks like they're putting some time into hitbox and armor and penetration for some of the things that were introduced with this latest patch with the armor rework. Like, it's taken them a while, so I'm going to say that. But at least it's getting worked on. Reduce the armpit hitbox size, right? Make that less of a pain, less of an issue. it's such a good patch, and this shit show is such an L. It's wild. So let's talk about this. First of all, you get a gamma container, which there's plenty of drama around that in and of itself. Closed beta because the game's still in beta, blah blah blah. This is the big one. You get PvE co-op mode with persistent progression. Here's the thing. I have friends that I got into Tarkov that have enjoyed the game that haven't played because of the wipe grind. If this was $10 or $15, I guarantee you I wouldn't even be making this video, and I would be actively playing this game with them as I'm talking to you, right? 10 or 15 buck upgrade or side or whatever. You don't want to buy this edition. They throw this out there. I could seriously tell you we would be playing it right now, because it takes away some of the stress of the online and some of the issues with the online, and you could just go have fun, run through the game. And it's something that, because it has persistent progression, you don't feel like you have to grind. So we could go, hey, what do we want to, oh, you know what? Hey, let's play some Tarkov and have, okay, cool. Such a W. This could be such a W, except it's $250. If you're not tracking, that's like $100, over $100 upgrade from EOD, which was already as expensive. Like, the next closest available edition is $110. It is over 2x that. The base game is $50. It is 5 times the base game. Like, dude, come on. Here's the thing. The stuff in here could probably justify a price tag close to this. It really could. Let's talk about these. That, you get an enhanced stash size. This is bigger. This is actually bigger, slightly bigger. I think 4 lines bigger than EOD. Unique in-game ID. It's blue. It's pretty fucking cool looking, if I'm being honest. PMC pockets. It makes your pockets like a scav vest. 2 singles, 2 doubles. No rigs, potentially, to run mags. Crazy. This is cool. This would be worth, if you wanted a little bit of that advantage, to pay for. I can understand that. Increased fence standing. Okay. More slots on the flea market. Again, if you want the advantage at the start of a wipe, these are the things that you would want. Unique in-game melee weapon is this thing, which is getting a lot of flack for potentially being something that they bought off of, like, whatever, dude. Mail retention time. This is your insurance. Additional background screen. Cool. Like, why? Just, why would you even list this? But whatever. Free access to all subsequent DLCs. At this point, the biggest flack that they are getting is because EOD said the same thing. And everyone is looking at, rightfully so, is looking at PvE co-op mode as being a DLC. Explain to me how it's not. They have double and triple down on Twitter and said that it is a unique mode and not part of it. You also don't get arena access with this $250 mode edition of this game, which is fucking crazy to me. And this right here, just remove this. Just actually remove this, because you said it as part of EOD. Just introduce something. I can understand, again, not getting all of this other stuff, but you can't tell me that this isn't new DLC type content. They're also going in. This is the BSG, just like literally lighting the building on fire and pouring gasoline and then calling in a B-52 bomber and hitting it with a fucking nuke. They're doubling down on this, and then they're now going and they're adjusting the website for additions for EOD and the descriptions, because the gamma container is no longer unique. That was supposed to be a unique thing to EOD. They have changed that. If you go look at it, they are now also essentially dev diaries. They're like purging as best they can the internet of any relation to the things that now don't align because of this new mode. YouTube videos, it's crazy. That's crazy. And this is just a lie. This is just a bold-faced lie. Here's the other thing. You get access to ETS. Cool. Let me ask you this question. What in the fuck is the ETS going to be good for when this game goes 1.0, which Nikita has constantly talked about, like, happening as soon as possible? What are they going to test there? Explain that to me. Because they're not going to make mechanical changes at that point, right? That's what this whole wipe has been moving towards, which is a good thing. What the fuck would you need access for this for? I don't understand. Here's what you get. Additional equipment. Gamma container. So it's not unique anymore. The rest of this stuff, dude, whatever, right? It's rubles, it's dollars, it's gear, it's guns, it's rigs. It's a weapon case, a lucky scav junk box, ammunition case. The thing is, the people that are buying this, for most of us that would ever even potentially consider buying this is just quality of life, right? I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing, but if you ask me, hey, pay an extra $15 and get these 3 things at the start of wipe, I'd be like, yeah, here's my $10. I really would. If they parted this out and let me just buy these pieces individually, some of these things, $15 for this, $10 for this. Fuck, I can already buy this. Like, I don't give a fuck about the rest of this. Maybe the PMC pockets for $5. I'd buy it. People would be buying it. People would be shelling the money out. We'd be having the same pay-to-win conversation. Slippery slope. Fine. You know what? Whatever. Honestly, whatever. I would. And people would. And we would get over it. Most people would get over it. It would push some people away. Most people would get over it. Because this is just quality of life right here. This stuff, yeah. Good players are going to absolutely trounce brand new players with this edition. But they were going to do that fucking anyways. So, USEC, same thing. Secure container gamma. Good. If you want your gamma container, get this. But it's not worth $250. It is absolutely not worth $250 fucking dollars. And that is just crazy. It's crazy. This is the other thing getting some attention. You get some additional skills. 3 levels, guys. I don't see as being a huge difference. This helps you with some potential quest progression. But again, if they revamp all the quests like they say they are for 1.0, it ain't going to matter. It's not going to fucking matter. Attention's cool. Cool. Hideout management. Sure. Some things that you can do. Weapon maintenance. Cool. Again, if you're going to grind, you're going to get this stuff anyways. So, is this a boost? Is this pay to win? Absolutely. Is this something you should riot over the... No, because, again, EOD owners out there, whatever. Co-op practice mode. Cool. We already got that. In-game armband. Nice. This thing is just wild to me. Mark of the Unheard. Electronic item. It's this fucking thing right here. It's this little guy. Scabs don't shoot at you. Discounts for in-service. This is like BTR, Lightkeeper. Equipment returns 30% faster. That's cool. And then essentially scabs won't shoot at you if you're far enough away. This is probably going to be broken anyways. So cool. Available in future updates. You get a unique zone in the hideout and you get the distress signal device. One thing they have constantly talked about, this is going to let you bring your friends in to help you fight. They haven't talked about this as PvE only or if this is actually in the PvP game. If they introduce this to the actual normal servers, first of all, there's no way I believe that the servers will be able to handle this. By the time this happened and you called your friends in, you'll be dead. Or you'll have killed the other person. And what are they going to do? Just come vacuum up your loot? I don't get it. Are the raids going to then be persistent? Because let's say if you get in a fight with 18 minutes left in a raid and you get really fucked up. It's not like your friends can carry you out. Are they going to want to join a raid with 18 minutes left? No. I don't understand this. I don't understand this. If this is for PvE co-op mode, offline only, right, with just your buddies, that's cool. Because there won't be any raid timers. It won't matter. You could do this. You can hang out in the raid. That makes perfect sense to me. Why the fuck would you bring this in? But they didn't clarify, as they don't, because they don't talk about it. And then $250, dude. The fact that it's, again, $100 more is just wild to me. Because here's what comes with this. You get the beta container with this. If you wanted a little bit of extra boost, just buy this. This is a lot of shit. Like, and it's double the price. That's fine. Like, I would never buy this edition. Standard edition. Man, I don't know. It's so frustrating because they're killing the game. I don't know. There has to be something. They have to be financially getting slaughtered. Something has to be going on where this all of a sudden became a good idea. And again, they could fix this so easily. Leave the edition up. I don't give a fuck if they have a $250 edition. I don't care. I'm not buying it. Put this up. Give this to me as an EOD owner. That would solve 95% of the complaints. Put a few of these other things up as they have done with fucking everything else as potential add-ons. They would get some extra cash flowing that way. What I don't understand is how many people are going to actually buy this? Probably quite a few. Let's just be honest. There's probably going to be quite a few people that have EOD that are going to upgrade to this, even after bitching about this, depending on what happens in the next week or 2 weeks of this game. So they're going to get some of this. But if they put this up for $15 to any mode that wanted to buy it, and they had 10,000 people buy it, would that not be better? That's logically, in my mind, that makes sense, but I don't know how many people are going to actually buy this version. So that's just a scenario we'll just never know, because they're not going to tell us either. And again, some of this other stuff, cool, man. Get your bonus. Like, this would make this so less divisive, but the fact that they said access to all subsequent DLCs, which they don't describe, and then they introduce something like this that they have called not a DLC because it's unique content, is just, it's mind-numbing. And they are just doubling and tripling down on the finger to the community. So I really don't see them coming back for this. Lots of streamers are going to be moving away from Escape from Tarkov content. They're going to farm this and the reactions to this right now, which they should, right? Absolutely. What's frustrating for me is I genuinely enjoy playing this game. It's frustrating, it's difficult, but I have very much enjoyed our hardcore series. I very much enjoyed our solo standard playthrough called the Escape series. It's fun to get in raids, have unique experiences. Every episode I create, every raid I go into feels different and unique. It can be very frustrating with some of the bugs and the issues that have persisted with the game. If they needed cash to get to 1.0 to finish this thing, there were better ways to do it. There were better ways to do it, and they could have thrown this out there also. And if they would have put this edition out and said, hey, also, these things are available, and EOD, thank you for your patronage and support of the game. We're giving this and this to you. They would have still gotten flamed because people would have thought, well, I should have got more and all that. But if they would have at least done a few of those things, it would have resolved most of the hate they're getting now. I just don't know how you just don't see that as a problem. And then you're going and purging things on the internet to try to cover your tracks. Feels so much like a middle finger. It's crazy. That part is crazy to me. So, I have not decided what the future for content on the channel is going to be around Escape from Tarkov. Again, I really do enjoy hardcore and our solo standard account playthrough. I have to figure that out. I'm going to take the weekend. I'm going to think about that. Again, one more Escape episode coming out tomorrow where we jump in on this current patch because I did want to play a little bit before I finalize my opinions. Don't buy this. That's my recommendation. If you want to buy it and you have the expendable income and you feel it's worth it, by all means, Do whatever you feel is right. I don't think. I think I think the content potentially could be worth it, right? If you play this game so much and you want those advantages, cool. If you got a core group of friends that are all gonna pick this up and play the PvE co-op mode, that's awesome. More power to you, right? What the problem I have with it is I just don't believe. I don't believe that in a month from now they're not gonna come out with the nuclear edition, and it's gonna be $500, and it's gonna give you level 7 traders access to things that don't even exist. Like, where does it stop? There are things in this that never existed before, like this, right? And this, that are totally locked behind a paywall, that they won't even open up for additional purchase to add-ons, right? I've had no problem with the add-ons. The add-ons help the game finish, no problem with that. But man, they're not going that route. I don't see it. That'll be the 2 month from now solution when the player base has dropped off to basically be dead, and they don't know what to do. So I'm gonna wrap it up there. Sorry, I had to change the music so this doesn't get DMCA striked. I don't know if I care that it does. It's really disappointing. I am actually disappointed. I'm disappointed because there's so much better way to handle this. They could have done it in a way that probably got both of their objectives complete, not screwed over their AOD player base, and then just basically through their socials be giving the community the middle finger. It's just wild to me. That just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know why you would do it. They're burning it down. It feels like they're burning it down on purpose. And I bet you right now, there is a ton of infighting going on. I will bet you there is. Because you do not get that level. The community has solidified into a wall of hatred. And I don't blame them for that. And like, dude, the other thing, and I didn't show this because I just got kicked out of the game for sitting here and talking. They have had, I have to just say this, which is also mind-blowing to me. They have been so resistant to the idea of putting in-game notifications and information to update players about things going on and events and that stuff. They have been so against that, right? Everything goes through the launcher, which nobody fucking reads and all that stuff. Yet, they introduced this edition, and in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, PvE co-op mode is in front of your face, telling you it's locked unless you upgrade it. Tell me that that is not the most scummy shit to do ever. You've been so against all of these things, in-game notifications and pop-ups on your home screen, and like, why could you not just have something there to let people know about events going on and different shit? And yet you're gonna introduce this edition and put that in the bottom. Come on, come on. It sucks. It sucks. Here's what I don't know. I don't know if we're going to continue to cover Escape from Tarkov content. Like I said, I have to kind of mull that over. I see how much I continue to enjoy the game, those kinds of things. Like, part of me still wants to see what happens with this game at 1.0 and release. Could be great. We're moving some things in the right direction. Patch notes again, outside of this edition BS, is awesome. So I'm pretty stoked about that. But we're going to do other stuff on the channel too, for sure. We have an AGG extra channel, play some mobile games and some Magic the Gathering over there. Links in the description if you want to check that out. That thing has been absolutely blown up. So thank you so much for all the support. If you've jumped over there, check that out. We really appreciate that. And I did that in part because I wanted to cover other things. I really wanted to keep this channel generally dedicated to a game, but I'm going to branch out. We're going to cover some other things. I've been wanting to do some other games on the channel anyways, but I enjoy Tarkov, so I like playing it, and I want to make content around it because I enjoy that part of it. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to continue to support the game in that way by doing that. Will I still play the game? Probably. I will still probably play whether I record or do our series or not. I don't know if my 3 accounts are going to now go to waste. We'll see. I hope they don't, but I don't know if it can recover from this. But we're going to do some other stuff on the channel. So if you're watching this, hit that subscribe button for us. We'll flash some socials. Thank you so much for checking this out. Let me know your comments down below. I think it's generally going to be pretty unified. I know we have some differences of opinions on a few things, I'm sure, in terms of what this all comes with. But, like, you don't have to buy this, which is fine. It's just so many people have supported the game through EOD, through the upgrades. They really missed. The biggest L. Literally the biggest L I have ever seen from Balsa Games, Escape from Tarkov, and honestly, generally in the gaming industry, to my experience. Now, I recognize there's some other pretty scummy shit out there, but this is pretty bad. This is pretty freaking bad. So, stick around. More content to follow. Check out some other stuff. If you see it pop up on your For You page on YouTube, give it a click, whatever it is. It really does help us out. Helps drive some extra traffic. We've actually been growing recently as well here, which has been awesome. So thank you so much for that. And just let me know. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll leave you there. Have a good one. Peace.